Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk about Moon Knight Episode 3, The Friendly Type. And what did I like about this episode? There are quite a bit of things. I really enjoyed this episode a lot. Let's get right into it. We finally get to see the gods that they were referring to this entire time. Now, my thought when they were speaking of the gods that banished Khonshu, I was thinking like the Norse gods, the Greek gods, the Roman gods, like they all got together and agreed like Khonshu should be banished. But apparently they were just talking about the Egyptian gods, which now looking at it makes more sense that it was just that. And so it was kind of cool seeing the people that were chosen as their avatars and how they took over them to do this whole council thing, uh, seeing what Khonshu was claiming that Arthur Harrow was going to release Amit. Now, you think that the gods could see everything, but I guess not. I guess Khonshu is the only one with brains because Amit is. Arthur, played by Ethan Hawke. Sorry, he clearly is trying to conjure up this creature or this god, right? So it is kind of frustrating a little bit that these other Egyptian gods, they won't listen to Khonshu in what he's saying. They're just treating him like a rambling fool that you just spread your lies. Go do what you have to, or else we'll turn you into stone. Which I did not see coming by the end of this episode. By the way, I didn't see Khonshu turning into stone at the end of this episode. So I thought that was an interesting way to end the episode, especially with Arthur talking to Khonshu as a statue, and I think obviously Khonshu heard. Obviously, I think Khonshu is going to get out eventually. How, we'll have to wait and see. But I'm sure Mark and Steven and a certain other personality will find a way. Before I get to the other personality, let me talk about Layla. I thought Layla was so good in this episode. Made me really like that character a lot more. We got to see her a bit in episode 2, but to get to see her more helping out a lot more in this episode was I thought was great. I'm really loving her character, the character a lot. So I thought she was great, especially when they went to that guy who, by the way, that actor in the desert when they were holding Mark and Layla at gunpoint, and the guy in charge wearing the red robes, he's a French actor that actually passed away earlier this year. I know he played Hannibal Lecter back in 2007, a young Hannibal Lecter, but yeah, I remember he passed away earlier this year, and they made when obviously this was going to be one of his last things now that he was going to appear in, and he was really good in the role that he was. They killed him at the end, though, right? They didn't show his body falling or anything, but you got the idea when Mark threw something at him as he was riding away, because you heard the hit as he went into the cloud of dust. I thought the action scenes were great in this episode too, by the way. You got your superhero action in here. I think the show is giving us everything we really want in a superhero series, but still feels different in a lot of ways. I like bringing the show now into Egypt, Cairo, Egypt. Yeah, it definitely feels like it's on a grander scale than anything we've seen on these MCU TV shows so far. Well, I guess Loki was very grand too, because he was out there in the multiverse. But he was more contained in the TVA than anywhere else. We did get to see him go to a few places here and there, maybe more in line with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because they kind of went on a road trip around the globe also. So it is kind of cool getting to ancient Egypt, because I got those mummy vibes. If you watch the Mummy movie with Brendan Fraser, it did give off a little bit of those vibes there for me. So I did think that was really cool. Obviously, the big thing about this episode is the revelation that there's a third personality. Now, I don't know who the third personality is. I'm very curious on how Oscar Isaac will play it, but they kind of laid it on very thick that yes, there is another personality. They even had a line with the Council of the Egyptian Gods where they even say, oh, who knows how many more personalities this guy might have. So that was pretty much laying it on thick that this guy, there is another personality within Mark and Steven. And I'm curious on how Oscar Isaac is going to play it, because man, there was a scene there that showed the transformation of him being Mark and then transforming into Steven, and he just clicked it on like that. Like you just see the transformation before your eyes, and it was like amazing. This is why you get an actor to Oscar Isaac's caliber, because you need an actor who can just flip the switch whenever he needs to very quickly. And as someone who, took some acting classes in the past, I know it's not easy to get on camera and get these performances out there. It takes an actor who has practice and learn the art of acting to really switch it on and switch it off, even when you go to another personality. So this is why you hire someone like him. And don't lose the fact that Ethan Hawke and I want to get the actor's name here, May Callum-Way as Lila. I think both of them are pulling their weight as well. But Oscar Isaac, obviously, he's the main character of the show, so he's going to, chew up a lot of the scenery, and he's doing it in a really great way that it is really fun watching the way his performance unravels throughout the series. So yes, guys, this was another really great episode. That's all I'm going to say. Do I have any theories? No, because this show, I have no idea what's going to happen next. I have no idea how this series is going to end. Apparently, next week's episode, we're going to be caught up with the critics, because apparently a lot of critics got to see the first 4 episodes. And it makes me wonder why 4 episodes. It made a lot of people wonder. There must be something big that will happen in next week's episode that will really set the stage for the last 2. I'm very excited, and I'm very curious at what's going to happen. Do I think this is going to somehow tie into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness or Thor Love and Thunder? Last week, I kind of thought Thor Love and Thunder could be a really cool tie-in with the whole gods aspect, but now I'm not thinking that anymore after this week's episode, seeing just the Egyptian gods there. So now I don't think this is setting up anything in particular. If we do see anything, a cameo or anything like that, I think we could see either Kit Harington as the Black Knight, maybe in a post-credit scene, or even Blade for the first time. We heard Blade at the end of the Eternals, and I heard that Moon Knight is somewhat connected to the Midnight Suns, which is what they're clearly building up to, where Blade encountered Kit Harington's character at the end of the Eternals. So it is possible we could see either one of them show up, maybe in an end credit scene, to recruit Moon Knight as well, since he's a supernatural type of character just like they are. So it gets me excited for the MCU. And if not, it doesn't matter, because I think this show is really standing well on its own, and we don't need always these stories to connect to everything right away. Like, just focus on making this good story, which this is turning out to be. And if you do find a way to connect it, but for sure, I think they will tease at something at where we're going to see Moon Knight possibly show up next, because that's what Marvel likes to do. They like to let people know, hey, if you like this character, this is where you could probably see him next time. So I think in a post-credit scene, we're going to see definitely something like that. With that being said, I'm loving this show so far. I can't wait for next week. We're already in the halfway mile. 6 episodes, man. They go by pretty quick. I love it because you can feel the story tightening. It doesn't need to be longer than it has to. Sometimes some people feel like certain stories are rushed, but I feel this story in particular that they're telling, so far all the Marvel stories I think have been told really well so far. So with that being said, I hope you guys like this video. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section below, because it's not only my opinion that matters, it's your opinions as well. Did you really love the episode? Were there things that you caught that I didn't? Obviously, I'm not the biggest Moon Knight nerd. I don't know any anything about the character from the comics. But if you do, let me know in the comment section below. And with that being said, until next time, everybody, take care.